Welcome, hobby friends. Tonight I'm going to try something different. I'm going to do a PSA DNA live reveal. It'll be all Hall of Famers, 4 different sports. And it's one that I sent in for the National. At the National, it was supposed to be done by the end of the show on Sunday, but PSA got behind, so I got my order a little bit later, but I got my order and it was pretty quick turnaround, a couple weeks. Um, First one I'll show you is one of my favorite hockey players of all time, the Golden Jet, Bobby Hall. ATW, how's it going tonight? And that autograph is on the back of a benefit ticket for Blake's school in Minnesota. Minnesota, yeah. That's where I live, so I can make fun of myself. Next one up is one of these 1991 Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball inserts. This one's Harmon Killebrew. Hey, Hugo, how's it going? Thought I'd try something different tonight. And those are the numbered H1, H2, whatever, when they came out of the packs. Some weren't autographed. Lucky people got the autographed ones. I bought that one in the secondary market. Here's the next one up. Another great Hall of Famer, Al Kaline. Thanks, Hugo. Yeah, I put those pictures from my barber up on that chart just for you to see, Hugo. Figured you'd recognize the stadium in St. Petersburg. Okay, next one I have Brooks Robinson on a 74 Topps card. And I sent 10 autographs in. All 10 came back good, so that's 10 for 10 for that order. And 3 of the autographs were from the 36 index card autograph purchase that I made at the world's largest flea market. Thanks, TW. Is it 2 or TW? Yeah, I bought 36 autographs. They wanted $20, and I knew there was more value to it than that, so I gave them an extra $10. So I felt better because they didn't know anything about autographs, and all 3 of those that I sent in came back good. But first, we'll look at Orlando Cepeda. This one is already autographed or already certified, but I like to get them slabbed if they're Hall of Famers. That's kind of the way my collection's going. PSA DNA slabs. You can see this certificate on the back. Hey, Sammy, how's it going? And here's the first index card from that batch. Joe Gordon played for the Yankees in Cleveland. And there was another autograph in that batch that I just sent in. I didn't realize who it was. And after I put it out in this autograph forum on Facebook, they said it was Sir Edmund Hillary, the first person to climb Mount Everest. So I figured I better send that in. So that's at PSA right now. And another one that was in that batch, Harry Hooper. It's a little stain, but it's Hall of Fame autograph. He was rookie in 1909. Played with Tris Speaker back in the day. And this is the only one that's not a Hall of Famer, but it's a real good autograph in Minnesota. Bob Allison. Appreciate you guys jumping in on the chat. Make this go a little bit better. Shake off some of my nerves. Here's a basketball one that I got back. I sent the 8x10 of George Mikan in. Hi, Sensi Domino. I really like that picture. Big old George. He's a great guy to meet in person. I asked him about his championship rings, and he said that the ring he had on was a ring that his wife had made out of all his championship rings. So if you ever see a George Mikan championship ring from a certain year, it's probably not real, because he had those all made into one ring. I really love these slabs. I got a few more of them for you. Bart Starr. You can't really see the signature on this one very good. It's kind of up over in here. But the main reason I got it slabbed because it's a Sports Illustrated 8x10. It's a nice photo of Bart. Next one is another Minnesota hero, Kirby Puckett, and it's personalized to Shelley. Best wishes, Kirby Puckett. It's dated 1999. Hey, Orlando. Good to see you. And I was going to take the index card out and just send that in, but my group submitter suggested that I just keep it all together like that, and I think it turned out pretty good. And it's the back page of the program. My last autograph, I showed the autograph before, and it was JSA'd, but I wanted to get it in a slab because it's a Hall of Famer, Willie Mays. Kevin Geary, how's it going? I know John Mangini probably just loves this little PSA logo. It's kind of nice they put it in a fitted bag, though, for you. Fits just right. What I look for in the autographs is like in these index cards, if I'm at an antique show and it's a raw autograph, this one's all stained up and it's got a cut pasted on an index card. Hey, Rick, good to see you. So who's going to fake an autograph that's not real valuable and paste it onto a stained index card? And the whole pile, there was some bad autographs, some good ones. Hi, Mikey. So when I see something like that, I'll buy the batch, and I'll get home and compare the autographs to what's on PSA website, and I'll also go through eBay and check for comps, comparable autographs, and if they look good, I'll send them in. Once in a while, I'll buy a batch like that. Hey, James, buy a batch like that, and one or two of the autographs will be bad. They'll be like a secretarial or something like that. Looks like we've got a good party going here. A couple of other pickups I have. I got this at the big antique show this weekend. Kansas versus Kansas State, 1963. There was one famous person playing for Kansas at the time. Anybody guess? It's a Hall of Fame football player. That's Gale Sayers was on the team. See if I can find his picture here. Here he is. I've got 3 Heartlands right now. I'll grab them for you. You saw the Harmon Killebrew. Got this Eddie Matthews. He's got a lot of paint worn off of him. Let's see if I can get it where it's not so bright. You can see the paint's worn off of that one pretty good. But the Willie Mays is pretty nice. Here you go, Rick. Another Willie Mays reference tonight. This famous basket catch. So who do you think of when you think of the basket catch? Roberto Clemente or Willie Mays? They both did it. Hey Jay, where did you get that? Here's another program I picked up. Duke versus Notre Dame, 1967. Anybody recognize this guy up in the top corner? He goes by his nickname when he plays for the Steelers, Rocky Bleier. Yeah, the Heartlands are anywhere from the late 50s, maybe 58 through about 62. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, I know. There's Ellen Page, Football Hall of Fame, and a former Minnesota Supreme Court Justice. There's a couple other guys too. I think Terry Hanratty, Bob Kuchenberg. A lot of good players went through Notre Dame in the 60s. Here's a couple items I got from Cracker Jack Cards. Back in the 50s, the Braves made these gloves with player names on them. You can see Johnny Logan. And they're dated 1954, ceramic gloves. I got them both from Jack at Cracker Jack Cards, Eddie Matthews. Also from 1954. So anything else going on tonight? Thanks, Mikey. Thanks, Kevin, Jay, Sensi. Binders. Here's my exhibit binder. I'm going to have to break that up. My new checklist. My new checklist is probably going to be over, I don't know, probably 900 exhibit cards for that one set. I don't know if they have the Spawn ceramic glove. Hey, Theo. Here's some exhibits I haven't shown. The Hall of Fame exhibits from 1948. Darren just did a nice little video on Grover Cleveland Alexander. There's Roger Bresnahan, Frank Chance, and Jack Chesbrough. There's Mickey Cochran, Frankie Fritsch, Lefty Grove, and Rogers Hornsby. Oh, that's good. Jack kept the Dal Crandall catcher's mitt. That's a really cool one. I really would like that one too, but you know, Jack liked it more than I did. Does everybody have their rooms for Cleveland next year? That TV has a VHS in it, so I can watch some old VHS recordings I have from 1990 something until I get them transferred over to a better media. Yeah, Mikey, I wish the exhibits were still dirt cheap. There's a Lou Gehrig from 1939 that's going to be a big hole in the wallet unless I can find it somewhere. It's his last playing card, I believe, 1939. And they were the same size from 1920 to 1966. That's 46 years. They didn't change their size. It was the longest running card issue until Topps came along. 46 years. And I got a checklist with all of the variations I can show you some of them now. They're just many minuscule variations. Yeah, that's a remnant of my youth, that land speeder. I don't actively collect Star Wars. It's just a keeper from a long time ago. Okay, all four of these are different in one way or another, believe it or not. I must have over, I don't know, 300 or 400 exhibits, and I probably still need that many. What happened with the twins today, Luke? Let's see. This one has a ball showing. It says made in USA. This one has the ball showing, says printed in USA. This one's black and white, made in USA, and this one's tan, made in USA, with no ball showing. So that's how meticulous the changes can be in the exhibit cards. Oh, I got all kinds of stuff laying around, but let's see what I got in here. This is one of my favorite cards from my last PSA return. 58 Bell Brand, Jim Gilliam. Sandy Koufax is quite expensive. Campanella is pretty reasonable for expensive. It's still expensive, but it's not like the Koufax. You got the nice little Bell Brand thing there. That's a bummer, Luke. I also got this 62 Jello back. Well, those are fun to get, Hugo. They're not very easy to get either. Were they like the 60, 61, and 62s? Well, 61. This is a 1948 blue tint. There's also Jackie Robinson in that set for those of you that want to spend some money. These are blank back. And I do have some exhibit football cards around too. There's Slam and Sammy Baugh. It's from the football set. He's a pretty common player, so he's not too expensive yet. Okay, that's cool that pictures were at Vero Beach. It's too bad they moved from Jackie Robinson Stadium in Daytona Beach. This is a proof, square blank back proof. I heard vintage football is where it's at. Is that true? There's that French Kirby Puckett. Picked that up at the National from France. Fabian liked it, but I don't think he'd seen it. No English on that one. Who's into bird cards? I know there's somebody that is into bird cards. These are from like the 1800s. That's a rough-legged buzzard. There's a kestrel. I really like the color. It'd be nice if I had baseball cards like this. It's more of the Allen and Ginter type artwork, I think. That's what I like about lives. I can make a mess and clean it up the next day. There's a 1980 Topps football uncut sheet with Walter Payton right in the middle. I have some Larry Birds in another binder. That's cool, Luke. It'd be cool if it used to be Kirby Puckett's house instead of the one he tried to buy. I know I saw a few people with some of these Quick magazines or Jet magazines. Here's a Quick Mickey Mantle. There's Quick Jackie and his wife, 1949. Here's one with Jackie and Joe. It used to be Billy's. That's cool. I have to see if Billy left anything in the house that's worth anything for memorabilia. Maybe he signed his name somewhere. And just Quick Jackie. I might be able to grab the Larry Bird. Here's my Larry Bird page. The guy on the top in the middle played for Indiana University. It's a friend of mine. And you can see a couple of them are promos, prototypes. Of course, I have boxing. These are my blue exhibits. from 1929. A couple more blue ones. Jack Sharkey's the only big name, and they're all postcards. Then I've got, here's some more from the 50s. This page has Sugar Ray Robinson, Willie Pep, Jersey Joe Walcott, yeah, these exhibit card machines, they weren't just in arcades. They were in local drugstores, soda fountains. Plus, they also had cello packs. I did a search and found someone that ripped the cello pack. I think you should look at it, Rick. It had Willie Mays in the cello pack for exhibits. How many people care about Westerns anymore? There's Gene Autry. Billy lived in the basement. Oh, okay. That's an interesting story, Luke. There's one cowboy card that most people remember. It's the ones I like, the ones that have all the color. Tex Ritter. Is that John Ritter's dad or granddad? I think the exhibits were in the vending machines through the 60s. There we go. Here's Chuck Connors. He played for the Dodgers and Celtics. I think he also played for the Montreal Royals after Jackie Robinson. I wonder if the Western ones are from the amusement park in Pittsburgh too, like the baseball ones are. Oh, you can't forget the ladies. No sports ones. If I did, I'd be looking for Roger Maris or Harmon Killebrew or Satchel Paige. I know John's got a Satchel Paige. And I think Breakout Cards picked one up recently. Here's my favorite Gene Autry with the U.S. flag on his shirt. Then we have the 4-1 Westerns. I saw the Maris at the National. It was somebody I knew from Indiana. They'd come up to Minnesota for shows. He wanted 1,600 for the Maris. He wanted me to take it back to Minnesota to try and sell it, but he wanted 1,000 for it, and I don't think I could have got 1,000 for it here. Plus, I would have had to make a little bit on it. See what else I have that's interesting. Bob Feller and Jimmy Fox. Get my Bob Feller, Jimmy Fox. Thanks, Rick. There's Hank Greenberg. Lefty Grove. Here's the two Frank McCormicks. They have made in USA on one has right side, one has left side. That's why I'll never finish these sets. I keep finding stuff that it's not in the checklist, so I'm adding to the checklist. And my buddy that I'm working on the checklist with, I'm just waiting until I get it all done in the end. So Rod Crew RC Cola flat. Blank back. This is another one of my favorite pickups from the National. Transagram complete box. No statues. And these three little cards up there. PSA also grades them separately. Here's one of my favorite football autographs from Jay Berwanger, the first Heisman Trophy winner. Here you go, Luke. Super Dave Osborne from Candu, North Dakota. No relation. Here's the other Osborne, Tom Osborne. Those red Nebraska pants. Here's a golf program. Recognize any baseball Hall of Famers on there? Hey, Troy. Good to see you. There's Ray Floyd, Dave Stockton. Down at the bottom there is Johnny Bench when he's on the senior tour. Good one, Sensi. A couple more Minnesota guys. I was at a show where these guys were signing, so I just took the flyer up and had them sign. Flyer, Dave Goltz is real nice. They're both real nice guys. Frank Quillisi passed away recently. Former manager. Goltz, I believe, won a World Series ring with the Dodgers. Here we go. It's a minor league contract signed by Ralph Kiner. Yeah, Frank Quillisi played down on that field down there in Orlando. And there's the other. Kiner signed the contract twice. Thanks, Kevin. Just kind of stuff I look for. It's usually not that expensive. That's my mini Minoso from the National I picked up. The old 70s White Sox uniform. Nice signature. He has a classic signature, I think. How much did the player get? Wasn't much. It was a few $100s. Got this at the National, too. Just happened to be hanging with Dom at the time, Staven Sports Cards. And we're right there, and Dick Perez was signing, so I grabbed this catalog from REA with Dick Perez painting on it and had him sign that. Back, there's Tony, my guy. That's Cuban Sandwiches at Target Field. Probably the best Cuban sandwiches in Minnesota. At Tony's Cuban Sandwiches, they're pretty good. Another all-time great, Buck O'Neill. Two guys that had the biggest smiles when they signed autographs. Buck O'Neill and Jim Mudcat Grant. They both love baseball. They both love talking to the fans. And I got a Dillard's signed Jim Palmer photo. Yeah, I got that Leaf Premium at the National too, Orlando. I got that put away somewhere else. That's gonna go get slabbed, I mean. Double duty Radcliffe. He played baseball for the Bismarck Barons team with Satchel Paige, Quincy Troop. It was a mixed race team, and they won the semi-pro national championship in Kansas City back in 1935. Another Negro League player, William Robinson. Down on the below, he inscribed it. Oh, the back is kind of cool. Dave Winfield's on there with his brother, and Dave signed it. Loyal Twins fan, my best wishes from Dave Winfield. Don't have any Jim Palmer in his underwear. This one I have a PSA DNA card for that. Colin Powell. Here's one I kept too, a contract. Alan Rosen, Mr. Mint, for a show from Fargo from the 90s. I probably got all the contracts somewhere. Bud Grant, Minnesota Viking coach that took him to 4 Super Bowls. He also played with the Lakers. This one I ran into by accident. We were heading home from Jamaica 15 years ago, and the Jamaican bobsled team was at the airport making money, raising money, signing autographs. So I got a couple. Yeah, I do have some Type 1 photos. I have some Mickey Mantles. I actually have Mickey Mantle's twin brothers on a photo at PSA right now, along with a 1954 Mickey Mantle batting right, and then the reverse negative. There's Dick Perez. He had this postcard also at his booth when he was signing, so I got one of those signed. This is a Negro League player from St. Paul. I know his son. His son is an author that writes, Frank White. He's a known author in the Twin Cities. Been collecting since 1967. I had some slowdowns in my later high school, early college, but carried a Apple crate or Apple box full of cards with me. This guy here, Troy remembers this guy. He played at a friend's wedding, and he said to have played with the Drifters. Remember that wedding, Troy? So I went over and I had him sign this piece of paper. That's Jim Marshall from the Vikings, Boom Boom Brown, Ken Hunt from Grand Forks, North Dakota, and Dick Jonkowski. He's a local master of ceremony type guy. Got Tim McGraw from one of the shows he did. Here's another interesting index card signed by the Roger Maris family, except for Roger Sr. Roger Jr. does Roger pretty close to what his dad did. The Maris isn't the same. I'll show a couple more things and then I'm going to have to probably shut it down. Here's a autograph from the Roger Maris golf tournament. Or not from the tournament, but they had the American Legion banquet. They still do have the tournament, but it's pretty high buck people that go to the auction and stuff, I believe. Or did you go to it this year, Troy? There I got Roger, Bowie Kuhn, Gary Gaetti, Bobby Richardson, Moose Gowan, and the governor of North Dakota, Alan Olson at the time. And this one's from the banquet for the opening of the Roger Maris Museum. Roger stood out in front of the museum and signed a bunch of his cards. And when it was time to go, he signed a whole bunch of extra cards and just left them on the table for people to grab after he left. You don't hear too much like that happening anymore. I suppose it's getting late. I gotta work tomorrow, so appreciate it. You all jumping on, and great conversation with the chat. In the future, I'd like to do some lives with some people in Minnesota here, where we have our monthly club meeting. Maybe we'll get some Kirby Puckett collectors, basketball collectors. We'll see what happens. Maybe even get some outside people to come in and talk and just present their collections to the club, Twin City Collectors Club, or just have a chat. Didn't have much else going on Thursday night. Thank you all, and appreciate you jumping in with me. Have a great evening, guys.